YouTube, what's going on, guys? Patch here. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Guys, we finally have a green day after 2 days of a whirlwind of emotions, red blood everywhere. We finally have a green day. So things are actually looking a little bit better. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and most importantly, if I think this sell-off is over, what exactly I'm looking for, and is it time to go back into that bull run that we've been waiting for. Now, guys, before we get into that, I want to make a bet with you guys. I'm going to try to see if I can learn to put it up on the screen. If not, just let me know in the comments. Bitcoin to 60K first or Bitcoin to 38K first? 38,000 is the support, I think, after 42,000 first, 38 next support. And then we obviously have Bitcoin's already been in the 50s, looking at that $62,000 would probably be the next resistance point. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments down below right now. We'll come back. We'll revisit once either one of them happen to see who wins, to see who was right. Do you think Bitcoin's going to 60, 62, or do you think Bitcoin's going to that 38K level first? I'm going to wait to give you guys my answer in the next video so that I can see everything you guys say first so nobody copies just what I'm going to say, right? Now let's go into Bitcoin and take a look. Daily time frame looking really nice. We're still above the EMA ribbon. We're still bullish on the daily time frame. I'm going to talk about the RSI in just a second. You guys can see it highlighted down low. You can see the trend line. We'll talk about it in just a bit. But Bitcoin, again, still has room to come down here to remain bullish. I've talked about this over and over and over again on the daily time frame. We do have a green candle after two major sell-off candles, which took us from, the height here was 58.5. The height of this candle when we were here was 57.6 thousand to a low of 44.8 thousand. So a shit show is what we could call the last 2 days. However, a lot of opportunities were presented. Everything was on sale, and we'll talk about this in just a little bit as well, but I want to know what you guys have been buying. If you bought anything, let me know if you sold. Let me know if you bought. I'm not a financial advisor, but preferably you didn't sell at the bottom. Preferably that wasn't the game plan. If it was, we might need to revisit it, but preferably we were looking at some steals. Let me know, altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Let me know you guys bought down below in the comments. But what we see right now, again, this is a level which we zoom into the 4 hours and the 1 hour that is very, very important for Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin can really break up into this level again, the highs of the week, the $51,000, $52,000 mark, that's going to be extremely bullish, and to me would indicate that the lower levels are now off the table. Until that happens, I'm still looking at potentially, not likely, not necessarily for sure going to happen, but until this does not break above the $42,000 support, which is going to be right here, is still in play. Now, with that said, I'm ready with orders at 42.5, and I have an order at 41.5 in case it gets lower. Both of them are leverage trade orders, both of them on Bybit, so that if Bitcoin does get to those levels, I'm going to enter a trade. I'm going to then profit on it going the way up. The exchange, like I said, I use is Bybit. If you guys want to watch the video tutorial, there's a video link in the description. The best Bybit tutorial on YouTube showing you guys how to set up everything and get started trading. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or an expert, there's something to learn in that video. And there's a link to Bybit down below this video as well if you guys want to sign up, where they give you a deposit bonus just for signing up, right? There are a few exchanges that I use when it comes to crypto, very few that I trust: Bybit, Binance, and I'm also recently, you guys know, started using Webull because they give you 4 free stocks for signing up and depositing $100. So all of those are just going to be linked down below. Now the RSI, before we zoom into the 4 hour and the 1 hour, this is where sort of I see two different scenarios playing out. Now, there is a clear trend line on the RSI. I've had it drawn for a very, very long time where we've bounced, here, we've bounced here, we then even had another bounce here, we've bounced here, and every time over and over again, we have found support at this trend line and have bounced up. Not always. We obviously see times like this where, we didn't actually make it all the way to the trend line, which is why I want to play out the scenarios in case this doesn't actually hit the trend line. But the trend line, 42K, those two would line up pretty well. To me, I'd be more than comfortable entering a trade at that position and be pretty confident. Again, we don't win every trade, but be pretty confident that that trade is a comfortable, good trade that I'm happy to be into. Now, one thing we could also know, last time Bitcoin did hit a peak on the RSI was during this move over here. What this move resulted in was a pretty massive sell-off. If we open up and take a look at the price range from up here all the way to down here was 27%. If we take up here and we go to down here, this was under 27%. So keep in mind, we had a much bigger sell-off percent-wise when we were over here at 42,000 and it went to a low of 30,000. $12,000 loss, very similar to the number we had right now, but percentage-wise at the time, this was much bigger. Now that started the RSI dip to the downside and it started to climb down to the trend line that we have over here. And all Bitcoin did here was bounce in a channel, kind of trade sideways, allowed it to actually touch the bottom of the ribbon before having that next break to the upside. So watch out for if Bitcoin is going to find a little bit of movement here in the RSI as it goes on its way down. You know, potentially we're going to see a channel forming here way bigger than I 10 of that channel, but maybe we start seeing Bitcoin do something like this, and then boom, we break out from here. A lot of different scenarios at play, but the most important thing is to be ready for either one, whichever one that plays out, be ready for it. Be ready to profit and make money during this trade. Because if we zoom in, this is what's important. 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame, the 4-hour is looking to flip bearish over here. If it flips bearish, of course, that's what we're seeing happen over here. If we break above the 4-hour, that to me would take $42,000 off the table and we can expect it to actually go up. On a side note, this price action to me yesterday when I was watching it, terrifying. Not something we see happen very often. The size of the candles, one the same size of the other, just buying and then selling. People were starting to catch on to this. Not something we see happen very often in the space. It was actually kind of, a first, I think it was the first time I've seen that happen, which means, you know, I've seen a lot. I've looked at the market for a while. That was pretty crazy. But 4-hour, again, that break above that 52, 53 would take us above the EMA ribbon, which is why we would be looking at taking $42,000 off the table. 1-hour, very similar as well. We saw a few touches of resistance up here, a bounce back down, looking like it might have found some support at this range as well. To see if we break above this level again, we're above on the 1-hour time frame, we're above on the 4, we're above on the daily again. 42,000 looks less and less likely the more we break above these EMA ribbons. Now, MicroStrategy, one of the biggest Bitcoin backers, they've bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now, if you find yourself wondering in the future why MicroStrategy seems to keep winning in the space and why maybe other people, maybe yourself, maybe not you, seem to not be winning in the space, these guys are buying the dip. Bitcoin drops 15%, MicroStrategy buys. Right? They're waiting for the dips, and every time there's been a massive dip, we've come out with an article saying MicroStrategy has bought X amount of Bitcoin, this time by spending $1 billion to buy more Bitcoin. I mean, it's the plays, if you were to look back at Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, and just look at the dips and what it would have been like to just buy the dips. Don't buy at the top, wait for a dip, even if it means it goes up a little higher, but you buy the dip, your chances of making money faster are so much higher. We'll cover this more in another video, so make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that notification bell if you guys want to see that happen. Ethereum also bouncing right now on the daily time frame off of, it actually touched the bottom of the EMA ribbon. Now, Ethereum I want to talk about because I got a few messages from you guys, some of you guys who are watching the video, and you guys said that, you know I talked about the Ethereum $1,600-$1,500 range would be a solid entry. We have the support over here, the stop loss would be below that, would be a solid entry for buying in, for entering a trade on Bybit for Ethereum. I had that trade set a while ago at around this level. It entered in this level, it profited. I already was able to secure profit once it was able to have that bounce, but a lot of you guys also were able to do that, which is fantastic. Now, Ethereum's a little tricky because it's already touched the bottom. We don't really want to see your Ethereum break below the daily time frame EMA ribbon. It would put Ethereum in a midterm bearish trend, which we don't want to see happen. So watch out for that as well. But I did want to highlight Cardano. I mean, Cardano has a lot of really cool things coming. Elon Musk was trolling a little bit with Cardano on Twitter. Also has a very clear trend line on the daily time frame on the RSI, which is something to watch out for as well. And you can see this pattern was drawn a long time ago. In many videos ago, we talked about the breakout pattern, how breakout patterns work, how easy they are to predict in the market. We saw the break to the upside. It was worth 37.38 cents. It went to a high of $1.2, so obviously looking really good. And it had a pretty big sell-off, just like Bitcoin stuff did. down 30%. For anybody who was looking for a discount to buy Cardano, picking up here, you're already up 27%. That doesn't happen very often. Yeah, you could have bought, maybe you bought up here and you had to withstand the dip. You lost 28%, but eventually you, a few days later, made 25%. That's fantastic, right? You waited a little bit, you bought at the top, it went even higher. But if you waited for the dip, your return would have been 75%. That's what I'm saying. Buying the dip, it just works. It's an efficient strategy, and it's the best strategy if you're looking to turn a fixed amount of dollar value into a larger amount of dollar value, right? That if you're looking at taking $10,000 and turning it into 20, or taking $1,000 and turning it into 3, and you want to do it as fast as possible, the best bet would be buying dips and then watching it shortly after have the next bounce up. And that's exactly what Cardano is doing. Still a lot of cool things coming out for Cardano. I know that. We're going to be looking at Elon Musk trolling it in just a second, but it's one of the fan favorite altcoins. It's one that has so much hype for having had such a small amount of product release that people are expecting when the product actually does release and the utility comes in, all that happens, that Cardano is going to be looking really, really good. And I've seen that a lot of you guys are interested in Cardano. You've messaged me about Cardano. You wanted to ask me about that. So I want to give just a little snippet talking about Cardano a little bit in the video, and we'll go into further detail in a future video. Again, if you want to see that, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have the notification bell. And if you want to see all of my trades, like I said, Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, including Cardano, we had one closer to back here, which we were able to make an extremely good profit on very, very fast. If you guys want to see all the trades that myself and my expert team are entering, check out the first link down below in the description for the Cryptocurrency Trade Alert group. Like I said, every trade that we enter, as soon as we identify them. So it's not that we're entering the trade and then we tell you about it later. No. When we identify them, we post it, then we enter. Whoever is in the group can see that trade just as everything happens in real time. Every altcoin trade, every leverage trade, the #1 community in the space. But most importantly, it is free for 14 days. So for 2 weeks after you sign up, you can see everything we have to offer. We're not hiding anything. It's all there. It's all there for you. We're pulling back the curtain, showing you what it's like to behind the scenes of really profitable traders. Something that a lot of people fake. We show you everything so we can't actually fake it. So again, if you guys want to check that out, make sure to sign up. Now, Elon Musk was trolling Cardano a little bit. Basically, changed the bio on his Twitter as well as his avatar, I think, as well, to Meta 4K. Obviously, Charles Hoskinson responds, in case you're wondering, Elon Musk is trolling Cardano, and yes, we love it, Papa E. Papa Elon, having some fun with it. A lot of people speculating potentially Elon Musk is looking at buying Cardano, maybe already has bought Cardano. Obviously, Elon Musk is ahead of the game when it comes to, everything. Yeah, everything. And that can be highlighted by this response over here when Peter Schiff, who's obviously a big Bitcoin bear, doesn't like Bitcoin, not surprised. 2 weeks after Elon Musk announced that he spent $1.5 billion worth of shareholder money to buy Bitcoin, Tesla stock entered a bear market, plunging 20% from its all-time high and 16% since disclosing the Bitcoin buy. Not an example other CEOs will likely follow. I don't know where Peter Schiff's been. The whole market's been on a downturn. A lot of stocks, not just Tesla, have entered a bear market. Sort of just what happened last year. Big dump. Probably going to be a pretty fast recovery as well if it's the same as last year. But either way, Tesla's not the only one. But Elon Musk responds with an eggplant emoji. Or as my Twitter seems to highlight it, aubergine. It's an eggplant emoji. We should know what that means. If you don't know what it means, Google it. Ahead of the game, both intellectually, in communication, and I couldn't have thought of a better response to Peter Schiff's tweet. But again, the market's all green today. Things are looking good. If you were able to buy at a discount yesterday and the day before, you're looking pretty good already today. A lot up. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. The last 2 days were bad days, but in reality, they led to the opportunity of the good day. So it really wasn't that bad of a day if you ask me. Let me know your guys' thoughts again down below. Let me know your bet. Let me know what you guys were buying. Let me know how it's looking. And I'll see you guys next time for another video.